Good morning. Welcome to Monday morning. Got a little holiday going on here, which is kind of cool. I went out, drove to get some tea this morning, and there was zero traffic. So that was nice. But we are here today to talk about saving some time, effort, and hassle. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I know at times it can get overwhelming, all the stuff you got to do on your website and your business and all that. So this session today, you need to take the time out and listen to it, because when you do, it's going to save you so much time. And that's the whole goal of this today, guys, is just to save you time. I am looking over here. I have an iPad right here. I can see your comments. So feel free to put your comments in. We'll highlight them, put them up on the screen for you. Don't forget to subscribe. Really important. If you haven't done that, hit that button down there, make it turn gray. It's red right now if you didn't subscribe. And also don't forget to ring the bell. Turn on all bell notifications so you're notified every time I go live or if I upload a video. And the last thing I'm going to ask of you is to give me a thumbs up if you don't mind. Even if you're not watching this live, all those things apply except for the chat box. Now, the chat box is very special, right? Because in the chat box, you can ask me questions live in real time, and I'll be happy to answer those. So utilize that chat box since you have it. Starbucks Coffee is in the house today. Love seeing you here, and I appreciate you being here. Appreciate you very much. If you want to promote anything, you're also allowed to put that in the chat box. You know, maybe you've got, a certain business that you're doing or whatever. I don't think they'll let you put a .com at the end, but if you put it and say, this is my website, people will find it. This is my channel, people will find it. So feel free to stick that in there. And let's jump right into it today. We want to save time. We want to save effort. We want to save hassle. All of us want to do this. I mean, having an online business, goodness gracious, can be really overwhelming sometimes. It's like at the end of the day, you're like, did I get anything done? I mean, I feel like I'm just keeping my head above water. So that's why this session is really so important today, because it's going to help you with all of that. So the first thing I'm going to tell you is you've got to, before you get into doing all these things you do, is you've got to develop some type of strategy first, instead of just saying, well, I'm going to figure it out as I go. That wastes a lot of time, man. I've done that. Okay. I've done it that way before. So what you want to do first off is just figure out what your goals are, what your vision for your business is. What is your main goals? And I know everybody's going to say, well, it's to make money and sell more stuff. But there's got to be more to a vision of your business. I own Survivalcave Food, and our tagline is helping families prepare. And prepare for anything: hurricanes, earthquakes, civil unrest, lack of groceries, whatever it is. And we always focus on that. That's the one thing that we always look at. The next I would tell you is you want to figure out what your current and potential audience is, your competitors, your industry. You've got to know all those things. I know all those things for my business. Those are things I focus on. Then what you want to do is list all the tasks that you need to do. Set a timeline for these tasks. Without a timeline, it seems like they never get done. Rank them according to priority. You always want to do your highest priority first. And then this is the part that a lot of people have a hard time with, is delegate some tasks. Get other people to do stuff. I have a team in many different areas. I have somebody right now doing photographs of our cans of meat. And, I took a course on how to photograph food, and I studied it, and I got, I think, pretty good at it. And then I thought, why am I doing this? I need to delegate this to somebody who does it every single day, because my quality is not going to be as good as theirs. So I've delegated that. You also need to figure out what tools and resources that you need. I highly recommend Kartra. Kartra is what I use for all of my digital marketing. I don't care if it's a course or a sales page or an email sequence. Kartra is it. You will find a link for Kartra in the description once this video has gone up. It won't be there while we're live, but just wait for it to go up at the end. You're going to see the link. In that link, if you click it, you can watch a free video on how Kartra works and all the stuff it's going to do for you. And I guarantee, and I think it's like $1 or it's free for 14 days if you use my link. I am an affiliate for them, full disclosure. I don't get much, but hey, every little bit helps, right? The next thing I would tell you is to create, oh gosh, I hate using this word, but it's an avatar, okay? It's like, who is your perfect customer? You got to define who they are. It's a really in-depth profile. You want to look at their age, the region of the country, income, what their family looks like, maybe what their jobs look like, certainly what all their problems look like. Because when you do that, then you can market to them. It makes it a whole lot easier. So you create this avatar, this character person. You may even want to give them a name. Okay, you may even want to do that. Ideal customers are not your average customer. Okay, it's because you want to target somebody who's a high spending, loyal, really good potential to buy again. That's the one you want. That's the one you want to focus on. And this is going to help you save time and money and resources by really just streamlining your business and focusing on somebody who's really interested in your products and services and who likes your company. So that's what we want to focus on. So how do you create this effective customer avatar? Well, it's really pretty easy. You start by providing a character name, like I just said, John, Paul, Maggie, whatever you want to call this person. And then what you do is you want to identify your avatar's basic details. So once again, age, gender, marital status, do they have children? What do they do for a living? What's their education? How much money do they make? And then you would look at all the possible traits that you can think of you've gathered from your research. Define the goals and values, challenges, pain points for this actual person, the decisions, the preferences, the role they play in purchases. You want to write a story as if you were them, okay? What are they doing before they use your product? How did they use your product? What benefits did they get out of it? You know, and it can be a product or service. I'm saying product right now, but it can also be a service. When you're making this avatar, you want to make sure that you remain in that character's mindset throughout everything you do, okay? Everything you do, your marketing, your posts, all these things are going to be based on that mindset of that particular avatar. If you do it that way, if you continue to do it that way, you're going to have a whole lot better success than if you don't. So it's really important that you do that, okay? Paul's got something up there. Let's see what Paul's got to say. Knowing, I'm going to read from over here. It's a little bit easier. Knowing not everyone isn't your customer is key to developing your business. Definitely having a prioritized action plan is the key. John Lee Dumas' book, Common Path to Uncommon Success, is great at developing an avatar for you and customer. Yes, that's well said. Well put, Paul. Thank you. And I appreciate you being here too, buddy. That's very nice of you. So let's move on to our next item on the list. The next one is you want to look at their journey. What's their journey going to be like? So you want to map out this entire journey. You want to do it in a step-by-step process. How do you want this person? Because you're designing the journey, especially if you have something like Cartridge where you can take them through stages of emails and offers and content and all that good stuff. You're designing it. Now, the first stage, okay, before they even get in your ecosystem is awareness. You know, you gotta get them aware of you and their problem. They may not even know they have problems. I know during the pandemic that, you know, I knew there was going to be some food shortages and I'd written a book about it. And people didn't even know that was going to be a problem yet. And all of a sudden they were buying toilet paper and paper towels. That was a big thing. I'm like, no, you need food. You need food. I mean, those things are important, toilet paper, paper towels, but you need food. That's the biggest thing. Your task is to really educate them about your brand. So that they really can understand what you do and how you do it. Like my business is selling survival food. That's one of my businesses. And some people thought, well, that's crazy. That's nuts. Who's going to want that? We sell a lot of it. We've sold a lot of it because people do need it. You do need to have a backup. Things aren't always going to be there for you. They're not always going to be on the silver platter. So you could use blogs, you could use ebooks, social posts. I have online courses. You could do online courses. Though there's no guarantee they're going to purchase from you, those who find your content helpful may move to the next stage, okay? The next stage. And the second step known as consideration and evaluation, okay? So now they're thinking, okay, this company may have something that I want. It may be something I need. Maybe I need to check it out, okay? So that's where we want to get them. It's important to have expert content that showcases all your features and benefits. You can have guides, you can have live videos, webinars, all that stuff. We actually have a survival course that people can take, and it walks them through all the scenarios. It's also helpful to have an active customer service team who can answer people's inquiries. You can also have frequently asked questions on your website, which is very helpful. We have that. We have a help desk where people can click and type in what they're looking for, and it brings up a whole lot of information there, and it may answer their questions. And if that doesn't, they can submit a ticket and we will answer them. Now, the next is going to be the decision stage. Okay. The buyer is ready to select a brand, they make a purchase, but this doesn't guarantee that they're going to buy from you, does it? You could have done all this work and they're still not going to buy from you. But if you do compelling call to actions, free trials, demos, limited downloads, whatever, to encourage them to purchase from you, you stand a better chance. So you want to take advantage of some case studies, maybe customer testimonials, show how others have benefited from your solution. Do that and you're going to get good results. Now, essentially, a buyer's journey helps them save time by understanding the customer's purchase habits and all that. But there's another step to this we all forget, and that is retention. We want to keep these customers now because you're going to make a whole lot more money on retaining customers than going out and finding new customers. Going out and finding new customers is very costly, costs you a lot of money. Paul's got a comment in here to see what he's got to say here. Knowing what problem you're solving helps you define your business and helps with customer journey. Absolutely, Paul. It really does. He's got another comment here. Let's see what he's saying here. Which screen am I going to read this from? Oh, there it is. One day it would be great to talk on having an emergency plan for when things go wrong. The loss of a supplier can be a problem, but if you have backups in place ahead of time, you save stress and time. And you know, we did have that problem during the pandemic. Some of the processing plants that process our meats got shut down because of COVID. They couldn't work. We had a hard time getting cans for a while because the automotive industry was buying up the metal and Campbell's soup was, okay? So we couldn't get cans. So we were stuck with labels with nothing to put in it and no cans. We never guessed that would happen, but it did happen. So guys, you got to be prepared for just about everything. And we had to pivot, you know, we had to do other things, you know, to keep that income coming in. Fortunately, we have great customers and they were still buying from us and it wasn't an issue. Matter of fact, they would buy from us and we would say, hey, it's going to be 3 or 4 months. Don't buy right now. Wait. And they're like, no, take my money. I want to be in line. So we had that going for us. We have a very good reputation. We've never had problems with customers. So that's helped us out a lot. Next thing you can do is have some evergreen content. When I say evergreen, what I mean by that is content that's going to last for a long time. It's not, you know, it's not like time dated type stuff. Okay. Like, you know, a Christmas list thing would be time dated, right? Rather than being relevant for just days or weeks, this kind of content really is consumed for months or even years. And if you're a good marketer, evergreen content can lessen the load of posts that you have to continuously produce, which you do. And I do, you know, I do videos all the time, all the time. The next thing you want to do is maximize the evergreen content by reusing it. Okay. You can take little snippets of it. You can do this by updating the title and tags. You can change the visuals within the post. You can incorporate them into a newsletter, update the publication dates. This will also get, you know, Google to find your content again. You can also repurpose it. Like I said, you can take snippets of it. You can put multiple fresh pieces. Consider converting old posts into guides or podcasts. You can compile similar topics into an expert ebook, or you can create videos around already published topics. You can also transform these high performing blogs into email series, infographics. You can do online courses. I've been working on one course forever. It seems like I got to get it done, but you can do side decks. You can do webinars. Using evergreen content, you can actually publish a lot of different things from that same exact content and just break it down into other things. So you can definitely do that. Oh, let's see here. Paul got a question. Which question, Paul? How often do you review your evergreen content? Not enough, Paul. I'm guilty of this one. I am guilty of this one. And you probably know it too. I need to get around to doing that. And here's the thing, guys. I've had people say, well, you gave me this list of 30 things and I only see you doing 21 of them. You can't do everything. Okay. So, you know, it is kind of overwhelming, but what I'm trying to do is show you in this training today, how you can do a lot of these things and you can get a lot of bang for your buck out of some of this stuff. So Paul, that's just a reminder for me. I got to work on that and do that. I'm always creating new content. It seems like that's what I'm doing all the time instead of updating the old stuff, which would be a whole lot easier to update older stuff than to create new stuff, but I got to work on that. Number 5, And if you weren't keeping track of the numbers, this is going to be number 5. Plan your content in advance. Use a content calendar. Now, I talked about a content calendar in, I think a video I did the other day I recorded. I talked about a content calendar, how to use it. But it's really helpful, guys. Imagine having to cram content that you forgot and it needs to be live in the next few hours. Okay. So even when I do lives, I try to decide up front what it's going to be. I get my outline all set up. I'll try to, post it in advance. I may send an email the night before, and then an hour before, and then 15 minutes before. So that helps me a lot too, because it notifies people, lets them know. Your content calendar is going to include all kinds of stuff. Maybe status updates, events, celebrations, reused, repurposed content, publishing platform and date, planned promotions, partnerships, article topics, stick those in there, assigned author, deadline, captions, links, materials, keywords, all kinds of stuff that helps you get organized. So for the most part, a content calendar will let you schedule your posts in advance. That's what we need to do. And we do that a lot. I will record videos and I give them to my video editor and he'll edit them and he will schedule them to come live on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter. And that's scheduled out like I'm getting ready to go on a cruise and they'll have to be scheduled out a month in advance. So it's a lot of work for me to get done prior to them going out, but I got to do it. It's got to be done. It also helps you align all your efforts so you save time and resources too. And time is so important, guys. That's time is it. There's nothing more valuable than time. Absolutely nothing more valuable. So you got to treat it that way. Okay. It's not like I just got to get through this day. No, what are you going to get accomplished on this day? And I do see people who just obviously just try to get through the day. And you don't want to do that, guys. You just don't. All right. And keep those comments coming, even if you're not watching live, guys, feel free to put comments below the video. I will come back and answer those. I do that on a frequent basis. You guys are awesome. You support the channel so much. You put so much into this channel. I mean, without you guys, it would be so much thinner. But when you guys are in there, and you're commenting, asking questions and all that, it just makes everything better. Number 6, I would say, is you want to optimize your content per platform. Okay. They're all a little bit different. Rather than spreading yourself really thin, you only need to be on platforms that matter the most for your brand and customers. I don't use all the platforms. I don't use Instagram. I don't use TikTok. Not that those wouldn't be good. I just can only be in so many places. So I'm pretty much Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and I lean really heavy on YouTube because I like talking to you guys. I like getting the feedback. I like building a channel. I like building a place where you can go back and find information. You can research on my channel. You can type in SEO, you can type in drop shipping and search the videos and get stuff on it. So you only want to use the channels that can effectively manage to ensure that you're going to put in your time, effort, resources to good use. Trying to be everything to everybody, I don't know. The only person I know that can do that is Gary Vee. Maybe somebody you could post a bit there. I don't know anybody like Gary Vee that could put out that kind of content. And you're going to say, well, he's got a team and he's got this, he's got that. He didn't when he started. He told I've seen him talk several times, but at a meeting at Digital Marketer Convention, he said that he would be up late at night just posting on other people's content and asking questions and commenting. He says he'd be up to 2 or 3 in the morning doing hundreds of those. He said most people won't do that. Most people are never going to do that. He says that's how he got to the level he's at now, by putting in an exceptional amount of work. And you got to ask yourself, do you want to put in an exceptional amount of work? Some people don't. Okay. Richard, I don't know if you're on here or not, but Richard's got a deal where he'll work for a week really hard. I don't know how many hours a day, but a lot of hours a day for an entire week. And then he takes 2 or 3 weeks off. And that's his plan. And that's okay. Whatever works for you. You don't have to be me. I don't have to be you. But understand, you can't be everything unless you're Gary Vee. I guess you can be. On Facebook, videos, blog posts, curated content. Oftentimes 1 or 2 platforms, or maybe 3 is enough. Instagram is a really visual thing. So if you have a lot of photographs and pictures and stuff, that's a good one. Short videos now is on Instagram. I'm still not using them for that. but you can do creative quotes, that type of thing. I do quotes on Facebook on a regular basis. If you go to my Facebook page, you friend me or whatever, you're going to see a lot of that, because I'll just have a thought and I'll like, yeah, that kind of hits me right now. And I think I want to put that online. And it's interesting how it resonates with a lot of people. On the other hand, breaking news, curated microblogs, GIFs, short form content are kind of preferred by Twitter. So think about when you're on these different platforms, what is it that platform's asking for? Because that platform, like if you're going to be doing videos, I wouldn't do them on Facebook. People don't watch that many videos on Facebook unless it's a cooking short or something like that. Paul says, I met people who once a sale is made, they lose contact with customers. It's 8 times harder to find new customers versus selling to your list. Bottom line, their power is in your list. Yes, power is in a good list, a responsive list. I do see people who don't really stay in touch with their list. They'll sell them something, and then a year later they'll send out a sale. You got to stay in touch with them. You got to give them content. You got to make them feel like your company is actually valuable. Okay. And it is valuable if you think of it that way. But if you don't think of it that way, yeah. But the list is so important, Paul. I mean, literally, I could send out an email while I'm talking to you guys right now. I'm not going to do it because it would just be random. But I could send out an email with a sales special. And within, 15, 20 minutes, I'm going to have money in my pocket. That's pretty cool stuff that you could do that, and go that quick and make money that fast. I love that. So what else? Text-based posts also perform especially well on Twitter. They like that. Pinterest, if you use Pinterest, which I don't, once again, but they love infographics. They like step-by-step guides, DIY tips. All those things really inspire people on Pinterest. Okay. Now, once you understand that there are differences in all these platforms, you won't have to spend so much time planning what content will perform well, because you know what to put on Pinterest, you know what to put on Instagram, you know what to put on TikTok. Like I just said, probably videos. If you're going to do videos, you want to do them on YouTube, not Facebook. But I can tell you this, I know Elon is really pushing to have long videos on Twitter. So maybe that's going to be a thing. I'm going to keep my eye on that. Right now, I want him to just work on Tesla because my stock is dropping. So I want him to get back over there and do what he's supposed to be doing over at Tesla. And if you guys have some ideas, or tell me what you're doing, tell me in the comments section if you're not watching this live. Tell me in the chat section there if you are watching it live. What are you doing? What are you doing right now? And how are you doing it? And what are you finding that works out for you? I'd be interested in hearing that. I really would. All right. So our next one here is going to be number 7. Number 7. And what is number 7? Guys, this here works really well, and it's gonna work for you. Use saved replies and hashtags. Now, I do the hashtag thing. I don't do any saved replies. I probably should, because it's quicker to click and say, oh, here's a reply that works for this comment. I don't like to do that because I want them to be personal. But whether you notice it or not, responding to the messages of your followers or customers takes a lot of your time. It really does. Now, I do it anyhow, but some of you, even in YouTube, they have some automated comments. You can just click on them and send them back. And that's better than nothing. Okay. So if you don't have time to type out something that is really obviously an answer or, a comment to what they said, then use some of the automated ones. So this means a lot of them are interested enough to know more about you, or they wouldn't be putting a comment. However, there are days when you just don't have time to reply to them. And I get that. What I do is I just wait a couple of days and then reply, but you can use the automated ones. For example, you can create saved replies and hashtags and reuse these when posting or replying to messages or creating content in general. It automatically inserts your pre-written and saved text instead of the need for you to type it over and over again. But like I said, I like to answer it, but this is another way you can go about it if you don't have time. If someone left you a message, you can automatically reply, thank you for contacting, and you can say the business name. We're currently and you can put whatever the query is. Don't forget to subscribe to our newsletter, follow us on social media for the latest news and updates. But it sounds pretty business-like, okay? And I'm not a business-like kind of person. But you do want to keep in mind that your message should always be genuine. Don't put BS out there, and make sure your response is fitting for the customer message, okay? So many times I've seen responses to something I posted, and I'm like, this is a bot or something, because it's not even referring remotely to what I was talking about. So that's bothersome. Let's see here. I want to just check my other screen here real quick, make sure I'm on top. Okay, I'm on top of comments right now, but if you want to stick them in, you're welcome to do so. All right. Now, I realize that some of you are brand new to digital marketing, okay? If you are, and you apply these 7 steps, you're going to ensure that you start off on the right foot. If you've been at it for a while, you may be looking at this going, no, I'm not doing that, I'm not doing that, I'm not doing that. And it may be you forgot. It may be you didn't know. But implement some of these. You're going to get good results. If you've been at it for a while now, try to review your efforts. See if anything you can change. See if some things are working better than others, and then double down on those things that are working well. And then I would say use automation tools. I use Kartra. I talk about Kartra all the time. You probably get sick of me talking about Kartra. It's just one of the best ones out there. It's just the best one. And you can find a link in the description for Kartra. And it's just the digital marketing tool that does everything. With the exception of post, it doesn't handle post. So like if I want to do a post and I want it to be on Twitter and Facebook and YouTube, I can't do that in Kartra. So I use, what the heck is that? Shoot, I can't think of what it is now. I use another software for that. It'll probably come to me in a second. But there's a lot of automation tools. Hootsuite, that's it. Matter of fact, I should probably put that in the comments section. Let's see if I can get that in there. I got to stand up and reach it. Hootsuite. Use that one. It's a really good one. What it'll do is like you can take one piece of content and it'll post it in several different places, which I find it's really, really helpful. I had a little problem with my camera here. Wait a second here. Well, guys, I'm having a little issue with my camera. It will be back in 1 second. There we go. I think we're back now. I apologize for that, but for a second, the camera went out. Cameras go out. Tech stuff. This happens when you're live. Okay, let's see here. Paul's got another comment. What are your thoughts on getting second opinion on your business for review and reaffirm you're on track? Paul, that's a great question. This is a really good question. And the answer is not going to be what you think it is. Do not ask your friends and family their thoughts on your business unless they do the same thing. Because if you ask your friends and family, well, what do you think about this product? What do you think about this service? And that's not what they do on a regular basis. How in the world are you going to get a good answer? Do not go into groups. All right. I don't believe in this either. Go into a group and say, hey, I'm thinking about this logo. Here's 4 logos. Which one do you guys like? Don't do that. You do much better to do a post on Facebook, an ad, and send it out there to, 50,000 people and see who likes which one and decide that way. So what I'm really saying is I think advice is fine, but you need to get it from somebody who has the credentials to give you a good opinion. If you're asking random people or friends and family, you're not going to get the right information. You need to be talking to somebody not only that understands what you're doing, but maybe has had success at that. If you can find people who've had success at what you're trying to do and you ask them, you're going to be a whole lot better off than if you ask your friends and family. For the most part, your friends and family think what you're doing is crazy anyhow. I know in my neighborhood, not everybody knows what I'm doing. They see me home all the time. They see me in gym clothes all the time. Probably think I'm a drug dealer or something. No, they don't know what I'm doing, right? They're like, well, how can he live there? How can he live in that house? How does he do that? How does he go on all these trips? Because they don't know, and if I did tell them what I did, they probably wouldn't understand it anyhow. except for maybe that guy. My guy right next to me here is an executive at Apple, really good guy, good neighbor. And then on the other side, I have a friend. I call him a friend because he's a great neighbor, who's an ex-FBI agent. So I'm shielded here. I've got some good people around me. So that's a great question, Paul. Just as long as you're asking the right person, I think you'll be fine. But if you don't ask the right person, I don't think you'll be fine. How are we doing on time? We're down to 10:30. Guys, if you have any more questions, pop them in there. I'll stay for a couple more minutes. I got a really busy day today. Got to get to the gym, got to work on some stuff. We got our Google ads are coming out for Survivalcave. So I've got to get prepped for all that stuff. But if you have any other questions, please feel free to ask me. And like I say, if you're not live, I don't want you to feel like you're blocked from asking me questions. All you got to do is go to the comment section. Go to the comment section and ask me anything you want. I will go through the comments, as a matter of fact, right after this session today. It's Monday. Be a good day to get on top of that stuff and get that stuff done. Guys, I think we're done. Are we done? Let me know if we're done. I think we're done. I really appreciate you being here today. I really appreciate those of you who watch afterwards too. That's the majority of you. I always say 95 to 98% of the views I get are after I've gone live. And that's fine too. Okay. You can still comment. You can still ask questions. You can still do all of that by, just using the area right down below. Paul says, have a great week ahead, gang. We appreciate that, Paul. Don't forget to subscribe too, guys. Hit that subscribe button, turn it from red to gray. I've said this a few times, probably a few thousand times. Don't forget to ring the bell. Turn on all bell notifications so you're notified each and every time I go live or if I upload a video, and the thumbs up. Oh my gosh, this matters. So you can't believe how much of a thumbs up matter. Matter of fact, if you would just go through and put a thumbs up on every video, man, I would appreciate that. That would be really nice. So that's all I got for you today. I'll be back live on Wednesday, which will be the 16th, 17th, 18th of January. Gosh, can you believe it's going that fast? I leave on, what is it? Let me just check here real quick, guys. And I'm going to try to do some lives from the ship. I don't know how successful I'll be at that because the internet connection, it's a little iffy. But let me see here. I'm going to be leaving. Done on the 26th, which is, gosh, is that next Thursday? Could that be? Where are we at? Yeah, today's the 16th. So next Thursday, I'll be leaving. And what I do is I fly to Miami, and I want to do some videos of this trip too, but I'm going to fly to Miami and then spend the night in a hotel for a couple nights there. And then I think the ship leaves on the 27th or 28th, I think, something like that. I can't remember, but I know we come back on the 5th. So I'll be filming some of that. And those of you who couldn't come along, Paul, those of you who couldn't come along, you can see what's going on. And Paul, I've seen a lot of people on this cruise that you probably saw on the cruise that you went on. You got to get back on there, Paul. I don't know why you didn't. I think you told me why, but I don't remember why you didn't go. But there's got to be some reason for that. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go get some work done. Love each and every one of you. Go out and be kind to somebody. Talk to you later.